Hi everyone, it's Thomas Arter here. So I'm just recording this little video as a way to introduce a little bit myself to you and to introduce the topic of what we're going to be looking at in my upcoming teacher training weekend at Maitri Yoga. So I would like to share with you a little bit about what we'll be doing and how it might support your journey as a yoga teacher. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is exploring Hatha and Vinyasa, how these two things are different and how they fit together. When we understand that more deeply, we can start to see how we can use a Hatha focus and a Vinyasa focus to sequence classes more intelligently and effectively, or to structure our yoga classes more effectively. So let's just start by breaking down a little bit what I might mean by Hatha and Vinyasa. So we will be looking at Vinyasa as the relationship between movement and breath. The relationship between movement and breath. And what can come, what this can bring to our practice, our yoga practice, our posture practice, when we go deeper into that. And we might find a few little surprises there, the deeper we look. The other side of it is Hatha focus. And a Hatha focus is more about finding stillness, Ruhe finden, oder Stillstand finden, vielleicht, I'm not quite sure. But this is the Hatha focus, finding stillness, finding quiet. And when we do find stillness, what that opens up. And for me, the way I teach Hatha is finding stillness opens up an energetic sensitivity, Now, that's okay in and of itself. That's kind of interesting. Okay, so Vinyasa is movement and breath, and Hatha is stillness and energetic sensitivity. Okay, fine. But how might that help us to structure or sequence a yoga class? Well, it turns out that it's very, very helpful indeed. And I'll tell you a little story first. When I first started to train to teach about 15 years ago, I wasn't teaching yoga, I was teaching children, teaching performing arts and creative things. And my teaching mentor said to me, "Tom, do you know the settle and stir technique?" I said, "No, I don't know that technique." And it goes like this. To settle is to come down, to find stillness, to find Ruhe. To stir is rühren, is to find energy, to move things around. And she said to me, "Tom, if you can master the settle and stir technique, you will master teaching with children." And I took that into my yoga teaching, and I found that it works for adults just as well as it works for children. So we can look at structuring a yoga class, sequencing a yoga class from a settle and stir technique, where we use Vinyasa focus and a Hatha focus to create a shape to the yoga class that allows people to come up and to come down and to come up and to come down. And when we find this shape, it feels good to teach. It feels good to experience. We're going to be exploring that. Okay, so this is Hatha and Vinyasa and how they might come together. And we will take our time to explore and go deeper in our own bodies, in our own practice. We're going to go deeper into Vinyasa and deeper into Hatha. And I have a very clear way of breaking each of those down into some principles which you can take away with you and apply immediately in your own practice and in your teaching. All right, that's one part of the weekend. And another part of the weekend is looking at mindfulness and meditation. Well, what's all that about? Well, the way we're going to be looking at mindfulness and meditation connects both to some philosophy, and we're looking at meditation as a way to take practice off our mats and into our lives. This, for me, is one of the biggest gifts of meditation practice or Achtsamkeit practice. It's how it can be a a connection point between what we're doing on the mat and what we're doing in our day-to-day lives. Okay, ich hoffe, dass das klingt interessant für euch. Wenn ihr vielleicht Frage hättet dazu, dann könnt mir gerne ein E-Mail schreiben oder ein paar Fragen irgendwie stellen durch Andreas oder ich weiß nicht wie. Aber you can just ask me questions if you're curious about that. I teach in English and German, a little bit of mixture, eine Mischung von beide Sprache. Hoffe, das geht in Ordnung für euch und ich freue mich voll, wieder in Münster zu sein und wieder bei Maitri Yoga zu sein. Genau, also das war's und ja, hoffe, dass wir uns bald sehen. Ciao für now.